Hey, shalom, shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Ruchaha Kodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, holding the truth of the gospel of Yahawashi from through the Holy Spirit. Honor, salutations, and blessings to the men that are preaching the gospel of Yahweh, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, in all sincerity, diligence, and truth. And peace, grace, and blessings be upon the house of David, which is the elect, the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, keeping the faith of Yahawashi, and standing in the Holy Spirit to the best of your ability, day in and day out. So this is just real quick. Brother had posted this screenshot of this headline in the chat. So I just went to the article and just read it. The headline speaks for itself. It's coming from Russia Today. It says jail, Edomite men. I'm just going to call them what they are. Jail Edomite men to save the planet. Jane Fonda. The Hollywood star insisted that sea change would not exist without racism and the patriarchy. Okay, so, like I said, the headline speaks for itself. All right, jail or, in prison, all right, put into captive Edomite men to save the planet. And that's exactly, what the earth needs and exactly what Yahawashi HaMashiach, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, is coming to do when upon his return. All right, he's going to enslave, all right, or put into captivity the. Let me pull that up real quick. The kings of this earth, which we know that the earth, pursuant to Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, and the wicked are who? All right, the wicked are the Edomites. All right, starting with the elites of this world. All right, the ones who have the authority, the power, to influence, the power to make laws. All right, the power to, do all of the wickedness that they are doing, which is causing the actual destruction, the decadency of the world, of the actual earth itself. All right, this is the book of Isaiah 24, verse 21. It says, "And it shall come to pass that the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited." All right, and that visitation is going to be by the hand of the Israelites, pursuant to Psalms 149. The last couple verses, Psalms 149, verse, to go straight to the point, 7 says, "To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles," right? Their elites, all right, the nobility, the rich, right, with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have Salakia, all of his saints, praise ye the Lord. All right, in order, the reason why we need to bind these kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, right, is because of how she just said here. The earth needs that, man. Okay, the planets, not the planet, the plants, the air, the ground, all right, the animals, all right, humanity needs for the Edomite man to be, in prison, to be put underneath subjection, underneath the righteous, true rulers of the earth, starting with Yahawashi. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10, verse 3. It says, "An unwise king destroyeth his people." You see? And Esau is an unwise ruler. He doesn't rule with the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, although he tries to portray as if he does, as though he tries to portray that he is a God-fearing man, right? But as it says in Isaiah the 24th chapter, going back to that verse, do I not have it up? I must have changed it, but that's fine. As it says in Isaiah 24, that the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Okay? Because they have changed the everlasting covenant, or they have transgressed the law and changed the everlasting covenant. So an unwise, and when you do that, what happens? The people are destroyed. So it says, unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence, the wisdom of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Okay? And that's starting with YAHAWASHI and the elect of the nation of Israel, because Israel are the ones who are going to rule in righteousness. All right, where the earth won't need to be saved. The earth needs to be saved from the devil, okay, but underneath the rulership of the sons of God, the earth is actually going to flourish. It's actually going to be renewed. It's going to, bring forth its fruits, okay, and it's going to be abundant. So it says humanity's best chance to save the planet from sea change lies in locking up Edomite men. Hollywood actress Jane Fonda told an audience at the Cannes Film Festival on Saturday. This is serious. We've got about 7-8 years to cut ourselves in half of what we use of fossil fuels. All right, and that's that whole 2030 agenda. Okay, and she's also, of course, of the seed of Esau, Edom as well, right? But nonetheless, hey, the Lord can use anybody to say some truths. Okay, so it says, and unfortunately, the people that have the least responsibility for it are hit the hardest. Global South, people on islands, poor people of color. The Barbarella star explained, insisting it's a tragedy that we have to absolutely stop. All right, and the one who is going to stop that is YAHAWASHI. It says, without naming any names, naming any names of any men she believed to be responsible for the looming demise of the planet, Fonda went on to draw connections between Earth and its minority inhabitants, arguing that there would be no climate crisis if there was no racism. And the thing is, once again, it's the way that this devil rules. All right, because racism just means to prefer your own, not your own nation, all right, above all any nations. And the Most High, Yahweh and YAHAWASHI, they are racist. They prefer, right? They're tribalists, right? They prefer, Yahweh prefers the nation of Israel above all nations. Deuteronomy 7:6. Okay, but see, Esau preferring his nation above all nations. Well, his nation is the nation of the wicked. So if you put the wicked on top, let me pull that up. Psalms 12. Yep, Psalms 12, verse 8. It says, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. Okay? So wicked is going to be everywhere when you got the basis of man being exalted, being in rulership, being in a position of authority. You see? So this is why this statement, it's a true and a prophetic statement, because that is once again exactly what YAHAWASHI is going to come to do. Okay, that is part of the ministry. That's part of the gospel. All right, that is part of the honor of the saints, to bind their kings in chains and their nobles in fetters of iron. All right, and not just their kings and their nobles, but the whole house. All right, really all of the world is going to be underneath the subjection of the nation of Israel. All right, and after they get paid double for their atrocities and their treatment of the Israelites, hey, then they're going to learn righteousness. That rod of iron, we're going to beat righteousness into them. Okay, with a vigorous rulership, the earth is going to rejoice. The people shall rejoice, as the scripture says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. You even got Esau, his own, lower level Edomites that are mourning over the way that he rules. So it says there would be no crisis if there was no patriarchy, which that just goes, and that's just a folly of this world. All right, because men always have been the ones that society was built by. All right. But once again, when you got the patriarchy of Edom in rulership, there's nothing but problems follow. Edomite men are the things that matter, and then everything else is at the bottom. If we solve the sea crisis and we haven't solved all those other things, we're going to be in trouble. The Clute actress warned. Okay, so that's basically pretty much what I wanted to get from this article, right? But let's pull up a couple scriptures. This is the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 4. It says, "Behold, the soul which is lifted up is not upright in him." So you have, as she just made mention, the only ones who matter are the Edomite men. And then she said, Edomite men are the only things that matter, then everything else is at the bottom. So they're lifted up. Their soul is lifted up. But their mind, their spirit is not upright. Okay? Let's go into that word upright. Let's see if it's Tazadak. Nah. Yashar, right? Yashar, which is to be right, to be straight, to be level, upright, to be just, be lawful. Okay, what laws? The laws of Yahawah Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI. See, the laws that they write are grievous. Okay, the laws that they follow are unrighteous. Woe, Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, they write laws that are grievous, that causes a trouble, that, as it says in verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right. Okay, take away the right from the poor of my people. That's why do you think the whole, even though it was in a guise of left hand, all right, but you had a lot of people that were sincerely fighting alongside of the whole civil rights movement, which were people that actually tried to fight for rights, civil rights. And that's why it says to take away the right from the poor of my people. My people. Who is that? The Israelites. But Esau, the Jim Crow laws, the Jim Crow era. Okay, you got second-class citizens. You got all of these various different institutionalized disenfranchisements that our people are constantly having to endure. The redlining, the sundown towns. All right. You've seen something the other day that said that the IRS, that so-called minorities, specifically Black Americans, are audited way more than any other nation in America. All right, their taxes are audited more than anybody else. Okay, so we don't have rights here, man. We don't have civil liberties here. So let's keep going. The book of Job, not Job. Actually, I wanted this one in Job. Job chapter 20. Man, where is it? Yeah, Job chapter 27. Verse 13, it says, "And this is the portion of a wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive from the Almighty." All right, from the Almighty. Once again, this is an Edomite woman herself, is decrying about the injustice and the unrighteousness of the oppressor of her male counterpart, which the way that he rules is actually bringing in a destruction of the entire planet. That's why the Lord Yahawashi said it. Hey, if he did not shorten the days, there will be no flesh saved. All right? Because the thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy. That's what he does. That's the mindset. That's his MO. That's the energy that he has. He can't do nothing except that. So it says, verse 14, "If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep." So you got even the curses now falling upon these heathens, all right, specifically Esau, the elites of Esau, where their own people is got an evil eye toward each other. Their own woman, right, it has an evil eye toward him. And that is all according to, as the Lord said, the prophecies, man, that these curses are going to, be put upon our enemies. And it's going to be manifested in its fullness in the kingdom. But hey, we're seeing a preview of that even in Esau's own kingdom. And that's how you know you're going down, when your own people are looking for your demise. Your own people are calling for you to be locked up, are calling for you to be taken out of power, taken out of authority, least the earth be destroyed. You see? So, but I don't have to, keep going, right? But I just wanted to get this in Genesis, the 4th chapter, because like I said, this devil, he can't help but to be the devil. He can't help but to destroy. That's why in Revelation, I always mention it. Scripture says, destroy him which destroyeth the earth. Genesis chapter 4, verse 11, it says, and now, this is the Heavenly Father talking to Cain, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. All right, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And that's why when we go back to Habakkuk, the fifth verse, it says, yeah, because he transgresseth by wine, his ideologies, right, his mindset, his system, okay, his knowledge, which is perverted, right? He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, because he's a vagabond, he's a fugitive, who enlargeth his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe, destruction to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, those debts. All right, because that's a recipe for disaster. If you have a society based off of debt, okay. But once again, because he's perverted, right? Because he can't do righteous, as it says, let favor be shown into the wicked. This whole system, this world, this age that we live in right now, is the way that the Lord has shown favor unto the wicked. Yet he shall not learn righteousness. All right, and we're at the point where the world is seeing it. All right, the world is seeing this devil for who he is. That wicked is being revealed, and even his own, nation of individuals, whether it be women, okay, or these truthers, whatever whatever it is, they're all pointing a finger at him as well, man. So hey, this is a beautiful time to be in knowing that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And the whole world, they're gonna love the rulership of Jacob, man, of Israel, starting with YAHAWASHI. Okay, they're gonna constantly praise the way that we rule, man, because it's going to be completely contrast to what you see right now. Where what you see right now in this world is nothing but problems. All right, how is the climate? You destroyed the earth so much that the climate is an issue. The actual weather is a problem. Listen how bad your rulership is, man. All right, and that's just one out of a laundry list, a long list of problems that this devil has caused, which is why ultimately they need and will be put into chains. All right, they will be imprisoned. Okay, so I'll end it there, Lord willing, it's edifying unto the elect. Until next time, call YAHAWAH, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash, Shalom.